Hey guys, I'm Tishran and welcome to Degen TV. So today's show is aimed at complete beginners. So normally this channel is used for our community, Degenerate Ape Academy or Degen Trash Pandas, where we sort of showcase things or give news updates. But I thought it was about time to do a beginner's guide on NFTs because we're seeing I'm seeing a lot of in real life friends ask me about NFTs and how they can get involved. Should they buy this? Should they do that? And I'm saying, well, that looks like a scam or that's a fake project. There's so many things to be aware of when you're entering the space, but also it's good to sort of touch on the subjects of how NFTs, people think that they're contributing to global warming or they're just used for money laundering. There's so much more. It's cryptocurrency, the metaverse, NFTs, it all belongs to this family of Web 3.0. So we're going to take a look at this today. So if you want to learn more about NFTs and sort of crypto space and Web 3.0, keep watching and we will try and answer some of your questions. So let's go. So what is an NFT? Well, before I go any further, don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps in growing the channel. And also, all the information in today's video, it's not financial advice. I'm just a normal guy talking about experiences and sort of my viewpoints on NFTs and cryptocurrency. So to understand what an NFT actually is, I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible because it's very easy to just keep talking and then start talking jargon and people don't understand, they'll lose interest. So to understand what an NFT is, you actually need to understand how cryptocurrencies work. And basically, you've probably heard of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So these are like Apple or Samsung. They all aim to do the same thing. Bitcoin's a little bit different because it's more of a store of value. Ethereum and Solana are more smarter sort of technologies, which you'll see mostly NFTs work on their networks, on their blockchain. So what generally happens is a blockchain works through the internet. You have validators or miners who basically help in transactions. So if I'm sending one Bitcoin to a wallet who belongs to someone else, or if I'm sending an NFT, what happens is it leaves my wallet, which you have as an extension or as an app on your mobile phone, and then it goes off to validators or miners. It gets chopped into little pieces, so it doesn't just go to one validator, it goes to many others. And then it all gets put back together and then it ends up in the other person's wallet I've sent it to. Or if I send it to an exchange or if I send it to a marketplace. So basically what happens is every time you do a transaction, you send something, the miner or the validator earns a reward for this. They will be paid in Solana. So that's what's called your transaction fee. So why is this important with NFTs? Well, this is how NFTs sort of work. An NFT isn't just a picture of a monkey or, I don't know, a car or something like that. It's so much more. So basically, an NFT is a digital receipt of ownership of something. So you don't necessarily, it doesn't have to prove that you are the owner of a picture. It could prove you are the owner of a car or a property, because this is where the technology is going to go in the future. You will buy a house and you will be issued an NFT to own that house, and they will forever be kept on the blockchain. And when you sell that house, you will then transfer that NFT to the new owner. The reason why it's done this is because all transactions are kept on the network. So you can go back in history and check who's owned that house. Well, you can check whose wallet it has, not necessarily the person, but which address, how much it sold for, how many times it's been sold, that type of things. And why is this important? Because when you own something of value like an NFT or artwork, you need to prove it's authentic. And one way of proving it's authentic is a digital receipt. You can prove that it is the genuine item. So I see a lot of people saying now, oh, you just right click and save a picture. It doesn't work like that. When you own an NFT, you can prove you own an NFT. And we are now starting to see things like Twitter have now implemented a verification system for your profile picture. So rather than having a circle profile picture, you now connect your wallet to Twitter and you display your NFT as your picture. When this proves that you are the owner of this NFT, so if you own an NFT which is worth $1 million, you are then proving you are the owner of that. No one can just right click and save it and say, I own this NFT. And this is where Web 3.0 is now coming in. So again, with Web 3.0, we can talk about this forever and ever and ever. But what I'll do is I'll put a link to a video that a guy called Nox Trade did who talks all about Web 3. Basically, to cut about what Web 3.0 is, it's the metaverse, it's the internet, it's cryptocurrency, it's NFTs, all coming under one umbrella and working seamlessly together. And right now we are going through the transition of Web 2.0, which is what we see now, like social media, Amazon, them types of things. They are now transferring into the metaverse or, cryptocurrency. It's all coming to a new stage in the internet technology. So like I say, I'll put that link below if you want to learn more about Web 3.0. So where were we? So we've touched briefly on blockchain and what an NFT actually is. It's basically a digital receipt. So your picture of a monkey isn't an NFT. Your NFT is a receipt to say that you own that monkey. And basically what happens is the metadata from that image is connected to that token. So when you transfer it, all the metadata also gets transferred with it, and then it proves you are the owner. There's so many different things that NFTs can do. In the future, we will see people get married and have NFT certificates as marriage. But like I say, this is going to take time. So when you talk about NFTs, don't just think of it as a picture. Just think of it as a digital receipt. So that briefly goes through what an NFT actually is. If you've still got more questions, I'm always on Twitter, or you can join our DAO Discord, which I'll talk more about later on. We will touch on other things as the video progresses. So if I haven't answered your question in this first segment, then don't worry, just keep watching. I will put timestamps below so you can we'll section off the video to answer different questions. So let's jump straight into the next segment. So why are people buying NFTs? It's a good question, and the sort of, celebrities are buying them and football players are releasing them. There's loads of things going on right now. But before I talk further about this, I just want you to watch a quick video that Bill Gates did many years ago as the internet first started, just to get you thinking about the possibility of NFTs.
But I think about this, and what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
Right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
Exactly.
and then you can come
That's
back
the
a year
RAM
later.
thing you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell? I just don't know. What can you, just knowing me the little you know me now, what am I missing here? What do I need?
Well, if you want to learn about the latest cigars or auto racing statistics.
Well, I've got that covered. I subscribe to 2 British magazines devoted entirely to motorsports, and I call the Quaker State Speed Line about 2 times a half hour. So now, would the computer give me more than I'm getting that way?
Oh, you can find other people who have the same unusual interests you do. And
You mean the troubled loner check?
So hopefully this has got you thinking, well, actually, yeah, okay, let's think about the internet right now and think, how far has the internet come since that video? And this is where we are now with NFTs. We are only just at the very beginning. The technology is being developed more and more every day. And you will probably see the technology grow, and you'll start seeing more people using it all the time. And you start to say, oh, actually, yeah, this is some really good stuff. So why are people buying NFTs? And why are people selling them? So we touched on before about Web3 and wallets and verification and a blockchain. The reason why more artists and musicians or game makers, they want to get involved in NFTs. We've seen Nintendo this week say they want to get involved in the Metaverse, Disney. There's so many people taking on about NFT in the Metaverse. It's because if you look at Netflix and Amazon now, they all work on a streaming service, a monthly payments. And NFTs sort of work like this a little bit, not in that way. But what happens is, if you buy an NFT now, you can actually program into the smart contract that any secondary sales, the creator will receive maybe 1, 2, 3% of any secondary sales. So let's take, for example, Call of Duty. You can buy guns, or you buy skins, or on these games now, you can buy assets. They cost money. Once you bought them, they're basically worthless. They're not worth anything. But what if you put NFTs into these games? You bought a gun, a limited edition gun, say for $20. The creators of the game would receive that money for the gun, but then you would be the owner of that gun. The NFT would prove that you own it, and then it would stay on the blockchain. And if you wanted to sell that gun, you would then use a marketplace on the blockchain to sell it, and then you would receive a cryptocurrency for that. You would then sell that cryptocurrency into dollars, or you would use that cryptocurrency to buy different NFTs or store it in value and earn interest on it. And why is this good, and why do companies want to get involved? Because when you say you keep that gun for 5 years and then you sell it for $1,000, the creator will earn royalties from that, which they don't currently get. So they will forever be earning royalties. And this is what we're seeing with projects right now. So you may have noticed the Bored Apes, Degenerate Apes. We'll go more into this in a minute about sort of minting and NFT projects. So we've seen the Bored Apes and the Degenerate Apes, they minted in Degenerate Apes was August, I think the Bored Apes was April. And what happened is the company who created these, the developers, they sold 10,000 of these assets. There'll never be any more than 10,000. That is all there is. And what happens is people bought them in sort of a lottery style. They minted them, and then you randomly received an image, a JPEG of the NFT. So with these funds, these developers are then they're using these funds to create the Metaverse, and they're also receiving royalties from secondary sales to then fund the Metaverse even more. So we've seen people like Justin Bieber's bought a Bored Ape this week for 1.1 million. We've seen a custom ape made for KSI, Stevie Aoki. They're sort of celebrities now are repping these amazing sort of art. May not be everyone's taste, but the modern day person is loving the art. And the apes are just funny because people just love aping into things, and they've been really popular. So companies are using the royalties to create the Metaverse. We will go more into the Metaverse later on, and I'll give you an example of what the Degenerate Ape Academy have created. That's a project that I'm involved in. The Degenerate Treasure Pandas is like a subcategory of that. We'll go more into that later. So this is why companies heavily want to get into NFTs. They want to create the technology to do it. But this all stems from cryptocurrency technology. It all works in the blockchain, and not many people have experience in developing this. So companies are now turning to the OG people who have been writing these programs for many years and asking them, please, can you create this? And there's a sort of a decentralization aspect about cryptocurrency. People want to keep it as private as possible. And some of these developers are actually going, well, no, we're going to stick to our own projects because we know it's going to be decentralized. And that's what we're seeing. So that basically explains why sort of people are buying NFTs, what sort of you can do with them in the future, why companies want to get involved. And let's move on to the next segment. So I hear a lot of people say, well, I own an NFT, but what can I actually do with my NFT? And this is all about utility. You can buy NFTs which have no utility, and we'll talk about this later on about if you are looking to invest in a project, what should you look for? So I'm just going to give a few examples of what you do actually get when you own an NFT. It's not just a picture that you put on your Twitter. There is utility that goes with NFTs. You get exclusive perks. So let's take most NFT projects, they have Discord servers. And in these Discord servers, you only get access to them if you own the NFT. And you might be thinking, well, that's not really a big deal. But in actual fact, it is, because you are sharing a Discord server with, I'm serving a Discord server with multimillionaires, people that have alpha, who give me information, people who have been trading cryptocurrencies for years and years and can actually give me genuine advice, because there's many, many influencers out there that basically get paid to shill stuff that it's just giving you bad information. So you actually get access. It's like the American Express Black Card. People pay thousands of dollars to have this American Express card. It gives them exclusive benefits. And this is the same thing that we see with NFTs. You are part of an exclusive members club. You can only get access to certain channels if you own a certain NFT. So if we go to the Discord for the Degen Trash Pandas and the Degen Apes, you get so many different channels. So if we take a look in here now, you can only get access in here if you own an ape or a Trash Panda. Trash Pandas get less channels. They don't get access to like Mint Squad, which is like a channel set up about minting different new projects. But they still get a thing. But the thing with a Trash Panda is they cost a lot less than what the apes do. So you get access to different things. So you get main chat. You can have different discussions with different people. You know, we're talking to some real serious people in here that, you know, are really wealthy. There's also sometimes famous people drop in. You don't know who you are talking to, because most people in the cryptocurrency world are private. You could be talking to them. You could be talking to Gary Vee or Snoop Dogg, because these people love NFTs and they have bought Solana NFTs. So there's all these channels you get exclusive access to. We do poker games. There's so much. We have local meetups, subcategories. So first of all, you get access to a Discord, which is, it's pretty cool. But if people might not have time to sit in Discord chats or that type of thing. So this is where we sort of go on to, well, what else do NFTs sort of offer? So each NFT project has a different aspect to it. So we're seeing a lot of play-to-earn games, which the Degen Trash Pandas are. We see a lot of IP sort of projects, which the apes are. So basically, it's like a brand. If you take Red Bull, they're a drinks company, but they sponsor sort of like soapbox racing. They have Formula One teams, and this is what people do with their apes. So when you own an ape, you own the intellectual property rights to that ape. So you could technically put your ape on a t-shirt and sell it. You can't necessarily put the Degenerate Ape Academy, because then IP rights belong to the actual developers. But anything to do with your ape, which you can see on the left-hand side, which is my ape, I could put that turn into a beer, turn into t-shirts. I could brand that and do what I want with it. So that's another. Not all projects have that, but you know, you can do what you want with your ape. And if you could turn your ape into something famous, then you will earn royalties from that. We've seen, I think it's Universal Studios a few months ago, they bought 4 Bored Ape Yacht Club apes, and apparently they're going to be turning this into a boy band. So again, my ape could feature in the Super Bowl commercial. I could earn royalties from that. It would come direct to me. So these are advantages to owning NFTs. But as well as this, we have different types of projects. So a new project which is actually minted today is a project called Cryptograph. So this is like a new concept. So what looks like a relatively sort of simple concept at the moment, what Cryptograph are doing is they are releasing a NFT project which has a collection. I think it's 5,500 different pieces of artwork, which people will buy, which will then help the developers develop this thing which is called the graffiti board. So everything stems around this graffiti board. And basically what people do is people who own the NFT get tokens to be able to paint on Cryptograph. It's basically a graffiti wall. So we've seen in the world people use graffiti to sort of like express emotions. They want change. People use graffiti in many different ways. People love the art. You look at Banksy, they're worth millions and millions of dollars. So what this is sort of doing is digitizing graffiti and sort of bringing communities from all the way around the world to create their own images. So what we're looking at now is just sort of a test thing. I was lucky enough to sort of have a play around with it. When this mints today, this will be getting, I think it gets reset, and the 5,000 people who own the NFTs will then get to sort of start a new graffiti wall. There is other things that come with it, the fractalization, but we don't need to go into that. So this is just another example of an NFT project that you could get involved. If you're into graffiti, then you could get involved with something like this, and you would own a piece of art that will help the developers evolve. Because if you look at this now, it's a fairly simple project. Well, you think in 5, 6, 7 years, when you've got your Oculus on or your VR headset, you could be standing in a metaverse and creating a graffiti wall with someone standing next to you who is on the other side of the world. And it seems a bit far-fetched now, but this is what the metaverse is going to be. So that's just one example. Obviously, we've gone into the Degenerate Ape Academy. What we'll do is we'll just take a quick look around the Degenerate Ape Academy. I do have another video which I'll leave the link to below, which is a full tour. So when you own an ape, you get access into the basically onto this website, and you can enter the Degenerate. The only way you will get in is by connecting your wallet. Again, this is all Web3 technology. That's the only way you get access. So this is an exclusive members club. So right now, this is all still very, very new, and they're still developing this website. Again, they're using the money that they received from the mint and the royalties to keep funding this project to grow it. What we're looking at now is pretty cool. It's amazing. But you think in 5 years' time, it's going to be even better. So at the moment, only the top floor is open. So when it loads, the other week we had some. We won't go into it. I do have a video about what happened in the toilet. Well, there was basically a gangbang and it's breeding. Basically, the Degenerate Ape, it's basically a laugh. It's like adult humor, sort of collectibles. Everyone has a laugh. It's dead chilled out, but there also is a serious side. But it's a club where people joke around. It's adults. It's designed for adults. But as we look around, sort of, we've got some different sort of apes from the community, and then also we have got the marketplace. There's a game that you can connect to, and basically what is happening with this sort of first stage metaverse is they're developing it. So we've got coming soon. All the other floors will be coming soon. So you only get access to this type of thing when you are an ape holder, basically. If we come out of this, I don't know how to go back. Exit to home page, and then a real cool feature which you actually get access to is what's called the outhouse. So this is basically a exclusive members club. Basically, we go into a virtual sort of bar, and we can talk to other apes. So as well as a Discord, you can actually go talk to other apes in a bar environment, and this has been really popular. People sort of chill out and have a drink. So let's just quickly join the space. Wait for it to load. And this is the beginning of the metaverse. So as you can see, people will sit down and talk to each other. We will also see, obviously, TV. So in the future, there could be UFC fights or football games. People coming in and watching. Again, this is a whole new experience for media companies. They can then sell rights to NFT projects to exclusive clubs. So again, you are receiving all these sort of benefits for holding an ape, as well as your ape having a high value. So if we come out of that, and then so another sort of big thing that's happening with NFTs is play to earn gaming. So basically, you own an NFT, which then gives you the rights to play a game. This is all fairly new, and you actually earn to play the game, and also you can do missions or levels, and you might earn more, or you might lose some sort of tokens, or you might even lose your NFT altogether. You could end up buying an NFT for 20,000, 30,000, but if you risk it in the wrong way, you could lose it. And this is the fun with NFTs. Or you could hold it and then wait for people to lose their NFTs, so they have to buy more, so then they increase in value. So the Degenerate Trash Pandas is actually being made by one of the top developers on Solana. And basically it's going to be a map explorer game where the Trash Pandas go exploring. We've seen a few mini games up to now, but basically, again, what happened is if you owned an ape, this is another advantage of owning NFTs. If you owned an ape, you received a trash panda for free. And then what also happened is people who didn't own an ape had to buy a trash panda. So there's 20,000 trash pandas altogether. And then what they do with them funds is then they use them funds to develop the game, and again they will use royalties to develop the game. So right now the game is being built, and then eventually we will all start playing this play to earn game. And then if the game's good, because there's no guarantee the game's going to be good, people start enjoy playing the game. It gets hyped. People earn from it with tokens, because we can create tokens within the game which have a value, because the game has its own sort of financial ecosystem within the game. There's so many different things that you get with NFTs. Like I say, this is not just a picture, or it's just not a digital receipt. You are looking at so many different, and this is only the beginning. Just think, when the metaverse is real and you're going from portal to portal. I've only mentioned 3 different projects here. There is thousands of projects being released every day. We are seeing virtual land being sold for millions of dollars. You can mint the land and then possibly sell that land, just like in the real world. People think this is a bit far-fetched, but you look at today's younger generation, they play games, they use their mobile phones, they eventually are going to be going to school in VR. You can also teach people in third world countries in the metaverse. The metaverse has got billions and billions of funding going into it right now. Just like we see with the internet, when that first started, it was very, very basic. And then we look at it now with like features like Facebook, Amazon, our smartphones. This is going to be major changes. So I think that covers sort of what we were looking at, like, so what you actually get with an NFT. I could talk forever and ever, but hopefully this gives you sort of the basic idea. So we'll wrap that up for now, and we'll move on to the next segment. I wanted to touch on, which is possibly the negative points of NFTs. We hear a lot about NFTs are scams, NFTs are used for money laundering, NFTs are ruining the planet because they are using so much energy. And yes, there is partly truth in this, but it's a very small proportion of what the actual blockchains are used for. Some blockchains are better than others, so I'm keen on Solana. They have low transaction fees, like 15 cents. Obviously, as we look back before, this is the rewards that validators get for helping the transaction, where Ethereum has more expensive gas because the rewards are higher for the miners, the validators. So, but they are trying to make changes to cut these costs, and there is on-chain things. But again, we don't need to go into this. So, and again, with Bitcoin, the miners get rewarded. Again, like I say, Bitcoin is used for a store of value. It is not used for millions and millions of transactions, where things like Ethereum and Solana, they are used for transactions, millions. I think Solana can do 400 transactions a second. So this is basically why blockchain technology, this is why banks are scared of blockchain technology, because they are taking away. We're quite lucky. Well, I live in the UK. We're quite lucky. I can transfer money to a friend for free. If I work in Dubai, say, and I wanted to send money to my family in another country, sometimes it can cost you $50 to send that over. But with blockchain technology, Solana, you could send Solana over to a different country. You could send over $100 worth for 15 cents. So the family are getting the full amount of money. So these are advantages of blockchain technology. But there is a lot of negatives sort of that come with blockchain about obviously how they're ruining the environment. So yes, in a way, so like different blockchains have different level consumptions of energy. I've got an example here. So if we look at this, a Google search uses like 1,080 joules. A single Solana transaction just uses just a bit more than that. So every time you do a search on Google, you could be in a Solana transaction. So when you mint an NFT or when you send an NFT, it's no worse than doing a Google search. We do have issues on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So for example, a computer, so one Ethereum transaction is 126,000 joules of energy, where watching a telly is more. So even though it's not like a major lot, but if you think of hundreds of thousands of transactions, these all add up. But Ethereum is working to reduce this with Ethereum 2.0, which should come out in a few, well, I don't know how long it's going to take. The problem with Solana is a little bit more centralized than Ethereum, so it's communities build these technologies together. There is not a central owner to these. So when changes are needed, it has to come from the community and it has to be developed by the community. I think Bitcoin is worse than Ethereum. I think it's a lot worse. But again, we're not having hundreds of thousands of transactions. You think what it costs to mine gold, the fuel, that type of thing, you are doing more damage to the planet with mining for gold and burning fuel. And also you think about all these banks with the skyscrapers, they are also burning fuel. So when you look at it, NFTs and cryptocurrency, they're not really damaging the planet. They're just an addition to burning energy. But like all technologies they're developing, Elon Musk has said that when Bitcoin can find a better way of mining and cheaper, which is better for the environment, Tesla will start accepting Bitcoin for payment again. And this is what's pushing sort of reusable energy like wind turbines and hydro. People are developing these and then they'll use this renewable energy to mine. And then, so it sort of goes from there. So yes, it does use a lot of energy. Some blockchains do use a lot of energy, but they will get better and they will stop, but it's certainly not as bad as what people are making out. I do see sort of sometimes adverts for NFTs, and you see comments on Twitter saying, "Oh, you're destroying the planet. People don't want Discord to integrate NFTs," because it's not true. It is bad for the environment. It will get better. Bitcoin is a lot worse, but blockchains like Solana, you can own NFTs without damaging the planet. So don't think you are damaging the planet by doing this type of thing. So that's sort of one negative thing covered. Another negative thing we sort of get, and there's sort of no way of getting around this. So with, if you live in like sort of a developed country, your banks protect you. You've sort of got insurances against things. The problem with blockchain technology, it's a worldwide thing. It's on the internet. There's no governance of it. There's no rules. Governments find it hard to sort of govern it. So it's basically like the Wild West, but it is getting better. And governments are learning how to sort of manage it and protect people. But we are in the very, very early stages of things. So it's going to take time. And you've also got to remember a lot of governments, the members of parliament or whoever's in charge, these are much older people and they don't understand new technology. So like the same with all technology, older people don't want to get involved in new technology. But as time goes on and younger people start to get into these roles, they know how the technology works, they know the benefits, they will put more time into sort of protecting people. Cryptocurrency and things like NFTs will always be centralized, and this is why banks don't like it, because they're taking the work away from banks. Banks won't be able to obviously give their bonuses to their employees. It's sort of like it's all done on the blockchain. They don't need people to do it. So there is scams out there. You've got to be careful. There's no sort of rules about copying projects. There's no sort of crypto police and that type of thing. You can prove it, but what you have to be careful as a beginner or a new person entering the space is you can go into a marketplace which is decentralized, so anyone can sell anything on there, and you could technically buy a fake NFT of a degenerate ape or a trash panda, and you could then try and get into the Discord or try and get into the academy with this, and it won't work, and you've been scammed out of money. So when you buy an NFT, you always need to make sure that you use a verified marketplace who have verified that your NFT is genuine. Just like you get fake bags, handbags, or fake watches, you also get fakes, and it's very easy to buy them because a lot of marketplaces do list them because they're decentralized. People are free to list what they want, and people get confused. They see an ape, they think it only costs $50 when really the floor price of an ape, a floor price basically means the cheapest price for something that really is $10,000, and then they basically getting scammed. The NFT they bought is worthless, it's not worth anything. So that's one thing to watch out for. So if you need help or advice, this is another good thing about being involved in communities or being in Discord. You can check with people who have got more experience. Is this real? Am I doing this right? I'm worried this person's sort of message me telling me to do this. You can speak to a community of members in one group chat and they will give you good advice. Another thing you need to be aware of, there's so many scammers out there. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people don't care about taking money off people. So if it sounds too good to be true, it genuinely is too good to be true. Never, ever get involved with a peer-to-peer transaction. That basically means you send your asset to someone's wallet and then they send you money, because 99% of the time you're going to send your $10,000 NFT to them and they're not going to pay you, and you'll never see them again, and they'll sell it on a marketplace. Always use a marketplace, or there is new technologies being developed now, a third-party technology where you both put your assets in there, and once they're both in there, it gets transacted. But do not trust anyone you know on the internet. Don't trust me. Don't trust anyone. If anyone ever pretends it's got my profile picture and send me some Solana or Bitcoin or send me the NFT and I'll double your money, it's fake. It's lie. You will lose all your money. So please, please don't get involved in this, because you will get scammed. And again, this is just a negative point of NFTs and cryptocurrency. And the third sort of negative thing you can get with NFTs is, especially on the Solana network, so because it's so cheap to do transactions on the Solana network, we are seeing thousands and thousands of new projects come onto the market every month. And the technology is getting to that point now where it's really easy to launch your own NFT project. The problem is that people anywhere in the world can launch a project anonymously, and they can take your money for the mint, and then once it's minted, they can close down their Discord, close down their Twitter, and disappear with all your money and not give you any utility for your token. This is happening more and more every day. There is no way to police it. The only advice I can give with this, if you're interested in a project, you want to invest it, you want to be part of it, just make sure you do your research. When you're in the Discord, make sure that, see if you can do your homework on the team. They might be anonymous, but just try and find out, see how many people are in the Discord, see how many people on the Twitter, what are they tweeting like? Is there any sort of evidence that they are a genuine project? Also, come to another positive about being in Mint Squad is that we have recently been sort of finding out about rug projects, that's what they're called, when they basically, the rug gets pulled on you. We've been finding out of these and sort of been telling our community, we suspect this project is a rug, don't get involved. So we're helping our community members not get sort of rugged on these projects. But like I say, you could end up paying one sol, $200, $300 for a mint, and then your money could disappear and you get nothing with it. And there's nothing we can do about it because we live in a decentralized ecosystem. I do think things will change, technology will change. One thing to look out for is look out for a project that has an anti-rug policy. So this is where they'll use a third party to hold the sol for so many days or so many weeks, and then once obviously they've gone through with minting the NFTs or gone through with the roadmap, they then receive their money afterwards. So that's a good indication. If they don't have these sort of policies in place, then just be careful with your money, because you can end up losing a lot of money just like that. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen people lose thousands of pounds. So just be really, really careful when you are getting into new projects. And then just one more thing as well. So we won't really go into too much about we will go into minting things actually, but we've briefly described obviously having a wallet. So a wallet is basically it's an extension to Chrome, or you can now have Phantom Wallet on your phone, or you have MetaMask wallet on your phone, or MetaMask on Chrome extension. Basically, your wallet is exactly what it says. Your wallet contains you can have USD Tether in there, or you can have Ethereum in there, you can have Solana in there, you can have Bitcoin, and this is what you connect to when you are buying something. So I might connect my Phantom wallet to Magic Eden. If I want to buy an NFT, I will then say I want to buy this NFT. The NFT will enter my wallet, and then the sol will be removed, and it will go to the person. The person will receive the sol, and it'll be minus the exchange fees and minus the royalty fees. One thing that we've seen a lot of to begin with, it's sort of died down a bit now, is it's very easy to copy websites, especially new projects who are minting on their website. So what can happen is you could connect your wallet with thousands of dollars of sol in there, or NFTs. You could connect it to a scam website, and it can drain all your assets, all gone like that. I've seen people lose hundreds of thousands of dollars through things like this. And the message here is, when you do this type of thing, always use what's called a burner wallet. So in the Phantom wallet and the MetaMask, you can have a wallet within a wallet. So I've got 6-7 wallets in my wallet. I have different assets in different wallets. But when I connect my wallet to websites, I'll only have in that wallet the assets I need. So if I'm minting something for 1 sol, I'll put 1.1 sol in that wallet and I'll mint something. The 1 sol will be for the mint, and then there'll be a slightly bit more money in there to pay for the transaction. If I am listing a NFT onto a marketplace, I'll just have that NFT. I will transfer that NFT into my other wallet and list it on the market. That way, if I was to get scammed and I wasn't careful and connected to the wrong website address and they did drain my wallet, I would only lose a small amount of what I've owned rather than losing everything I own. So that's touching on sort of the negative aspects and what you've got to look out for when you think. So there is ways to be careful. You can be careful, but this is why we're doing this video, because beginners, new people coming into this space, they need to know these things, because if you come into this space and have a bad experience, you might never come back, and that is not the point of this. We want to educate people so we can grow this space, get people using it, grow the community, and just take it as far as we can and grow the technology, because without people using it, it's not going to work. But I'm pretty confident it will work. But we don't want people writing on Twitter or Facebook, oh, I did this and I got scammed. We need to help new people learn what to look out for and what to do. So I think I've pretty much covered, obviously, the negative aspects, the sort of the energy aspects, the getting scammed aspects. Just, be careful, guys. Like I say, hit me out on Twitter or whatever, come into the Discord, talk to people, just go out and talk. Yes, you may talk to the wrong person, but if you're in a community and you're in a group chat, talk to many people in there. And if people start giving you bad advice, people will speak up and say, listen, that's not right. So yeah, that covers that segment, and we'll jump on to the next one. So you've probably heard me say a few times on this video already, mint. And like when I talk to in real life friends, like, what the hell is a mint? So mint is basically a word for when you first basically when you first buy a project. So a lot of people buy NFTs off the secondary market for a higher value, but developers have projects that basically, when they first sell that project, it's called a mint. So if there's 10,000 apes for sale, the release time will be on a such a day and a such a time. The website will go live. They will introduce a mint button, and you will then mint that NFT. You will then create it. We'll talk about rarities and why some NFTs have different values in the next segment. But when you mint something, you are basically, the transaction is between you and the developer, not a secondary website. So you go on their website, you're interested in the project, they've announced when the mint is, you have your wallet ready, you've got your burner wallet ready, you connect your burner wallet to the website, you're pretty happy it's exactly the right website, and then the minting goes live, you press mint, then the transaction happens. So the transaction is they will deduct Sol from your wallet and they will replace that Sol with an NFT. You will be generated a random NFT. There is ways, they have this thing called a candy machine, which means it's basically a randomized. There is issues sort of with the candy machine. It has been updated recently. But basically you randomly get an NFT. You could get the rarest NFT or you could get the most common NFT. But we'll sort of go into sort of traits and rarities in a minute and why it sort of gives it sort of a higher value. So that's basically what a mint is. It's a transaction between you and the developers where you transact your Sol or Ethereum for the NFT. Once that's done, you are the owner of that NFT and then you can use it for its utility. Or what we tend to see is a lot is people will mint stuff. They will try mint a lot. Basically what happens is during a mint, 10,000 NFTs will sell out in seconds. It's a lottery. You might not even get it. Some people might be successful in mint too. It depends how they're set up and sort of their speeds, the computer and internet type of thing. But one bad thing that has been happening is bots have been minting and they're a lot faster than humans. But with the new candy machine, there is like a capture involved, so it stops the bots from doing it. So we're sort of getting away from that now. But generally a mint will sell out. If it's a good project, a mint will sell out straight away. It's gone. And then that's why the NFTs then have a secondary higher value and they sort of get royalties. As basically explains a mint, that'll sort of cut it for this segment, but we'll talk about rarities and sort of random generations of NFTs on the next segment. So actually, just before we go any further, there is actually a mint today, so I might as well use this opportunity to actually show you the experience of minting a project, which is actually probably the most exciting part. So I was actually lucky enough to get a whitelist for this project. So what we'll do is we will mint it live right now and we'll see what I come out with. So obviously you remember I said about your burner wallet. So there are so many different YouTube videos on how to actually buy cryptocurrency on an exchange, then transfer that cryptocurrency into your own personal wallet. So just search that on Google, on YouTube, and that will sort of tell you how to do it. So at the moment, I have got some money in my Phantom wallet. We'll go through that. Obviously, we'll go through the burner wallet and sort of we'll go through the mint process as well. And hopefully it all goes to plan. So the first thing I did, so obviously I've got money in my Phantom wallet. You will see that I've got different wallets that have different things. So, for example, just wallet one, it's got different things in there. There's not a lot of Sol in there. And it obviously contains different NFTs. Then I have different wallets with different things in them. But then I have this thing called a burner wallet. So what I did before was I put one Sol in this burner wallet, plus a little bit more just for transaction fee. Hopefully there'll be enough. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we've got this wallet selected. Make sure you haven't got your main wallet selected with money in it or NFTs, because if we connect to the wrong site, then we potentially drain all the RS assets out of the wallet. This wallet doesn't actually have anything in it. I think, there's no NFTs in there. It simply has the one Sol to mint, and that's it. Also has, because I'm on the whitelist, I think these are the tokens which will allow me to mint before everyone else. Basically what a whitelist is, again, this is another positive about owning sort of an ape or a high value NFT. People like to give whitelists to sort of OG people or people who own high value assets, because when I go to mint this now, I don't necessarily have a lot of followers on Twitter, but I will then show that I've minted it and sort of tweet about it or put it on Instagram, and then that sort of hypes the project up. Every project does it. It's just a normal thing. It's it's a way of marketing basically. So if you're minting 5,000 assets, you might give out 500 whitelist spaces to certain projects and say, listen, there's a whitelist, go give it to your sort of community, mint the project, everyone starts talking about it because these people are followers or they have a good voice in the community, then that makes people want to sort of hype in and sort of buy that project or do research on it. But like I say, sort of be careful. So let's go through the mint. So there's my wallet. As you can see, if we go onto the Discord, which is going crazy. So if we go to announcements, so basically it's saying here the moment you've been waiting for, the mint has arrived. You will need the whitelist token because it's currently whitelist. It will go, I think it goes public tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll copy this address, copy it. So another thing is always use the official address that's either been given on the Discord or the Twitter. So this, to me, looks pretty genuine. It's the Discord that's sort of giving the mint out. What I will check out isn't sort of the main chat that no one's saying they've sort of gone to a dodgy website. Obviously, people are showing here what the art that they've minted. So I'm pretty confident that sort of this website's legit. I can connect my wallet to it. I'm not going to lose my one sol. This is the cryptograph mint that we were talking about before. So let's go to that website. So let's go onto there. So when you mint a project, you will get a sort of a website like this, cryptograph connect wallet. So it's asking me to connect a wallet. I'm pretty confident the website's legit. The link was given in the official Discord and an official announcement, so I'm pretty safe. My backup to that is the fact that I'm going to be using a burner wallet. So if I click on my wallet now, my burner wallet's selected. So my worst case scenario is if this is a dodgy website, then I lose $123 potentially. Worst things have happened. So I will then connect my wallet. Hopefully my whitelist works. So then basically what Phantom is asking is basically this app, this sort of Chrome website wants to view your wallet and balance actually and request approval for a transaction. So we have to allow this to allow the transaction of the sol leaving my wallet and then for the NFTs to enter my wallet. So we will connect. Pre-sale mint. So it's showing that there is 4,382 remaining. Obviously, these won't sell out straight away because this is a whitelist event. Tomorrow, when it goes public, they'll sell out straight away. There's 23 hours left on this mint, and the price is 1 sol. So I am going to press mint, and then hopefully we get something rare. I'm not sure what the attributes are at the moment. I don't think any list has been given out. I'm not too sure what's rare, so I'm not going to have any idea what I get until actually everything's minted. But we'll take a look. So pre-sale mint. My wallet is asking for the transaction. I will approve it. So basically it's going to take that much sol out. There's a network fee of 0.0001 fee. It's probably like 17 cents or something silly like that. Press approve. And hopefully, sometimes it doesn't work all the time, especially when there's a high load of use. Sometimes you get a failed mint. Well, this is actually saying congratulations, mint successful. When you mint a live project where thousands of people are trying to mint it at the same time, you generally get failed transactions. But because this is a whitelist event, there's less people trying to mint. Obviously, we've been successful. So hopefully now we will open and we will take a look and see what we've minted. So again, I'll click on my Phantom wallet. This is my burner wallet. Obviously, so that 1 sol has disappeared from there. There's only like very minimal sol left in there. And let's have a look. So yeah, so this is my NFT. I don't know too much about it, but I don't know how rare it is. I'm guessing the attributes are the glasses, the hair, the thing at the top, the hoodie. Obviously, if you look at the properties here, so it's light pink, that girl, invader, shutter shades, normal, Genesis. So it's sort of saying, and also we get a bit of a description, street art, graffiti, the original permission. So basically, this is sort of the fun aspect of NFTs because I have no idea what I've got here now. I don't know how rare it is. I've got no idea whether people will be buying these for more money, whether it'll have a higher value. I've paid 1 sol $100. I could end up selling this for $10,000. We don't know. It could just the project may just stay, people might just sell for 1 sol, 2 sol. This is a pretty popular project, so I'm pretty lucky to be able to mint this. I have got another whitelist token I'll probably be minting again in a second, but that sort of takes you through the minting process and how to do it safely. So sort of always follow it's. I don't mint too much on Ethereum. I've done it for a while just because of the stupid gas fees, but I do think that this is an easier and cheaper process. It is similar on Ethereum, but like I say, there will be a lot of videos out there on how to do it. So yeah, on to the next segment this time. So what gives an NFT its value? Well, firstly, it's how good is a project, how good is a utility, and also sometimes, like you see on TikTok videos or YouTube, there's certain things just people hype them and they go viral, and like you see with the Bored Apes, you've got celebrities buying them, and the cheapest Bored Ape you can buy now is $300,000. I don't actually own a Bored Ape. I'm not too sure what the utility is, but once they're hyped and people start buying them, that's what then gives them the value. Something is only worth what someone is willing to pay. So if you get involved with a good project and they have good utility, that's then what gives them the value. Every NFT project has different utility. Some people release NFTs to fund certain projects, which might have an NFT where you might stake your NFT and sort of earn income from that. Like you see with the Bored Apes, that's sort of an IP NFT. There's loads of different things. So they build the brand gets bigger, it then gives it the NFT a higher value. Or then you've got the games. If a game's hyped, the NFT then has a higher value again. And then it's just a case of a major block is the art as well. So the guy that does the art for the Degen stuff, Mono, he's an amazing artist. He does great work, and people are willing to spend literally millions of dollars on buying his art. But a major aspect of what gives an NFT value is the rarity of the NFT. So firstly, rarities, you have sort of supply and demand. So the Degenerate, for example, there is 10,000 of them. There'll only ever be 10,000 of them. You have other projects which only have 3,000 available, 5,000, 10,000. The Degen Trash Pandas have 20,000. So there's also the supply. So the bigger the supply, possibly the less the value, but that's not always the case. And then within you have rarity factors within each collection. So in the last segment, we talked about minting and randomly generating a NFT. When you randomly generate an NFT, you could get the rarest NFT, which is number 1, or like the Degenerate kind of, or you could get number 10,000, which is it's got the most common. And basically what gives the rarities is things called attributes. So if you look at my ape, which is in the bottom corner now, you take the clothing, for example, the hat, the glasses, the food in the mouth, the skin color, all of these attributes have different rarities. So the rarest feature on my ape is the heart glasses, and that is actually rare. You can get like mythic, uncommon, common. So every attribute has a name to go with, so either mythic. So my heart glasses are rare. There's only, I think, 83 other apes that have the heart glasses. So that makes it rarer, which then means it gives it a higher value. But there's also other aspects within that as well. So like people really enjoy the ape smoking a cigar or a pipe. So some attributes may be common, but because people like them, it gives them a higher value again, and people are willing to pay money because they like the look of the ape. So there's different reasons why the Degen Trash Pandas or the apes could have different values, is because of attributes and the way people sort of see them and like them. Basically, like anything in life, if you like something and it costs so much, you might want to buy it. But there is a website called howrare.is, and this basically sort of ranks NFTs by rarity. Obviously, this one is based just for Solana, but there is other ones for Ethereum. So if we just go on the Degen Apes, for example, they're ranking this 7468 as the rarest ape. It's got gold teeth, which is I think it's mythic, and it's got a spacesuit, which again is very rare. So if we look, there's only so many of a spacesuit, but again, they're all different. You've got an Ice Ape version there. You've got an ape smoking a cigar. But you may think, well, that one's actually worth more than number one, because I actually think an ape smoking a cigar in a spacesuit is really cool. And we can actually see that the last sale for this one was 2,500 Sol, which I think at the time was about $300,000. And then so basically we go through the attributes. You sort of see the halo ones here, the beer can, spacesuit. Everything sort of goes in a ranking order. This one here actually is the highest. So this is the highest selling ape, which sold for $1.1 million, 5,980 Sol at the time. So this is the highest ever ape sale. So you can see there's a massive difference between the rarest apes, which sold for 1.1 million, and then the lower common apes, which have a floor price at the moment of I think about $8,000. So basically, when you mint something, you could potentially mint you could mint an ape, and it'd be worth $1 million, or you could mint a common one, and this is sort of what gives the rarity and the prices within a collection. And the thing is, just like anything, people like to show off. So yes, it's cool that you own a Degen ape or a Bored Ape Yacht Club, but I want to prove that I actually own the rarest one, and I own an ape which is worth $1 million. And again, when you're on your Twitter profile or Instagram or Facebook, and they integrate the wallet, and you prove that you own that ape, and it's actually, people are like, wow, this guy owns $1 million ape. You know, people like that. They want to see that. It's cool. That's just today's world. So that's sort of what gives value to NFTs. So you've got obviously the utility factor, you've got the rarity factor. There's different, obviously the way they look. So when you are looking into a project, look at these types of things. What is the supply going to be? You know, do I actually like the look of the art? What attributes are they going to have? Have they overcomplicated, or is it pretty, you know, is it easy to understand? On the Degen apes, for example, it's easy to understand. This is a mythic skin color with crayons in the mouth. This is an ape. You know, you can see the rarities. If I go on to the fur and skin, you can see that there's 728 red and blues, but there's only 17 gold apes and 28 zombies. So I click on the gold apes, it will only show me. So you can sort of narrow these down to what you're looking for. So this one here is rank 22, which is a gold one. But then if you go to the least ranked gold one, it's 138. But if we change that for a different skin color, so if we go for let's just go for a general albino blue, you've got rank number 9, which is a space one. But if we go, because there's more albino blue Degen apes, you will actually find that the rank goes from all the way from number 8 all the way to 8,818. And there would be a massive price difference in that because the rank's different. But then if you look at this rank here, it looks cool. It's a pretty cool ape. Yeah, it's got, the glasses are cool and it's got mouth. But obviously people go on looks and what they like. People are willing to spend $1 million on a space ape. But, you know, as the value increases, I don't think the floor is going to stay at $6,000, $7,000 like we've seen on Bored Apes. This is how Bored Apes started. They started at low prices, and then the more people that bought them and kept them and held them, the price goes up. That's not financial advice. That's just what history that's happened. Sometimes no guarantee this is going to happen, but people are getting more and more in NFTs, and NFTs which have a good utility and project are going up in price. One thing to mention is what projects do is, because they still like to involve everyone in the community is. So for example, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, basically it come out of most people's price range. People can't afford $300,000 on buying a Bored Ape. So what they did, they brought a thing in called the Mutant Apes, which was a lower cost thing. You don't get the same benefits, but you get some of the benefits, but you're still part of the community and you still get some, and they are a lower cost. You've got the same kind of thing with the Degen apes. So they brought the Trash Pandas in, which is a game, but these come out at a lower cost. You can buy one for like $900, I think, or no, I think it's less than that. I think it's like $300-400 for the cheapest one. Obviously, some of the mythic ones still cost like $50, $60, $70,000, but you can get your gateway into a community by spending $300, $400, and you're in the same Discord as someone that owns a £1 million ape. But what will happen is, as more people come into the NFT space and as people hold these assets, they will increase in value. So we will need to see a new asset come out. For example, it might be 30,000 a certain NFT, which people then mint, and then they can get access into the community, which then gives the developers more royalties, but they'll get less access to things. It's like, for example, you take an example, Mercedes. You can buy a Mercedes car for $300-400. I think the F1 model is like $1 million, or you can go out and buy their basic model for $1,000. There's different levels of what you get. Obviously, the more you pay, the more you get, but you've always got to include everyone in that to grow the community, and that's the difference in sort of the prices and that type of thing. Hopefully, we've covered sort of this aspect and obviously what gives it an NFT value, and we'll move on to the next segment. I think it's over an hour now, so you're obviously interested in NFT projects and you might want to get involved. So we'll make this the last segment now, and basically it's sort of like, where do you start? How do you get involved? So I'll sort of give you the same sort of advice I give to my in real life friends who sort of get joined. I'm not saying that's necessarily right or I'm wrong. It's just, if I was starting again, this is what I would do, or advice I'd give to myself. So the first thing I would do is, obviously, I think it's very important that you do your research on anything that you buy or anything you want to get involved in. So firstly, I would say to my friends, create a Twitter, a Discord with a different alias. Think about cryptocurrency and NFTs and that. Keeping your privacy is paramount. I know, obviously, you can now see me on YouTube and you know who I am, but I still try to stay as private as possible. No one knows my real name. They know I'm in the UK, but they don't know whereabouts in the UK. There's some dodgy people out there, so staying as private as possible is the best thing to do. So create a Twitter, separate Twitter, create a separate Discord, and maybe Instagrams, Facebooks, whatever sort of social media you want to get involved with. Twitter is definitely the one where more goes on, and obviously Discord. And yeah, just get on there, start following some people. Follow me if you want, at Tishran. Start listening to sort of... there is obviously a lot of influencers out there that do give bad advice, but there is a lot of good people as well that you can learn from. Do your research. It's also how you find projects on Twitter. So basically, you now need to decide, right, do I want to mint a new project and I want to sort of do some research on a new project, or do I want to get involved in a project which is already going? So there's two options here. So you may come across a project on Twitter and you go, oh, I like the look of that, I want to get involved with it. So you'll join their Discord. You won't need an NFT to join their Discord because it hadn't minted, so you could just get involved in their Discord. Then you start doing your research like we talked about in the past, and then obviously you then wait until the mint, and then you mint the project like we did on Cryptograph before. Or you may want to go, actually, no, I really like the Trash Pandas, or I really like the Bored Apes, or I like the Degen Apes. I just want to be involved with them. I don't mind spending $10,000 or $300,000. So the way you do that, obviously, these projects are legit. They've been going for many months now. So you can also get into the Discords of these, but you don't get full access. So these Discords will have open channels. So for example, in the DAO, we have the public Degen zone. So basically Degen chat, the exiles, endangered Degens, Hopium. So this is basically in difficult times in the market, people come and talk, obviously, because communities there for each other, and sort of help and support for people who are trying to sort of verify to get in. So these 5 channels are open to everyone in the public. So you can come before you might be thinking, I want to buy an ape or I want to buy a Trash Panda. I'll come and talk to the people in there first and actually learn more about the project, because you need to do your research on these products. So you've got 2 options. Do you mint something from fresh, or do you go and buy something on the secondary? So if you do decide to buy, we've already gone through minting a new project, so hopefully you should know about that. All I'll say is just be careful, do your research, make sure you don't get rogued, and obviously make sure you use your burner wallet. So if you want to buy a secondary project, so say, I always advise my friends, obviously I'm biased, but I always say to them, right, get involved with the Degen Trash Pandas. They're at a low price, but it's a new project, it's going to be a game, and you also get, you get a lot for your money. and the artwork's incredible. So I also say to them, get free $400 and just buy a floor panda. And the way you can do this is you go onto a secondary market like Magic Eden or Solana Art. These ensure that you will only buy a verified NFT. So if we go Degen Trash Pandas. So if we put this in order, so hopefully, so it's in order low to high. So the floor price right now is 3.48. We may go, right, I want to just dip my toes in the water. I just want to buy sort of a relatively cheapish NFT just to get some exposure to the community, find out what it's all about. I want to buy this floor panda for 3.4. And that's what I say to all my friends. I've got so many friends now who have bought trash pandas because of this. So it's the same process as minting. You select your wallet, which you make sure you've got your burner. You click on it and you've got two options here. You can either buy it for the advertised price or you can make an offer. And then once that trash panda's in your wallet, it's the same process as minting before. The sol will come out and then it'll be transferred and then you'll own this trash panda. Then you are the owner of the NFT. And then you will get full access into the Discord. And then you can start your journey into the NFTs. And once you're in the Discord, you can talk to more people, you can learn more things. But I think the main thing that I want to say is when you start, don't need to rush, you don't need to spend money. You just basically need to do your research and talk to people, join communities, find out about the project, and just keep safe. Like I say, you will need to put Solana or Ethereum in your wallets. It's exactly the same process with Ethereum. So you may want it. So with Ethereum, you can go on to OpenSea, which is the largest NFT market. So again, you connect your MetaMask wallet to OpenSea, but it has been rumored that OpenSea are going to start listing Solana NFTs as well, which would be pretty massive. So like I say, there's many videos out there on how to sort of buy cryptocurrencies on exchanges and then transfer it onto an exchange to your Phantom wallet, which you just get used to that process first. I would advise if you do that, just buy a small amount. So maybe just buy 1 sol and then transfer that 1 sol into your Phantom or 0.1 ETH and then transfer that into your MetaMask. Always stay safe. Like I say, if you want to learn more, we are welcoming hundreds of people into the Degen DAO Discord every single day. People are asking questions, coming in and just want to know more about sort of the project. So honestly, just come in. I'm not saying you necessarily have to buy a panda when you've been in there, but you know, we have the Mint squad that mint projects every day. So people who are involved in the Degen stuff are also involved in different mints. So they will help and advise. And if you are interested in minting a new project, they will help you. So literally, just be careful, talk to people, take your time. Hit me up on Twitter or Tishran on Discord if you want to learn more, or many of the other community members, and stay safe. And but the main thing is enjoy yourself, enjoy the technology, have fun. And then maybe even make a little bit of money on the way as well. But yeah, keep safe, guys. Take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.